stepped in both of our shoes. But if this silence takes you, then I hope it takes me too.
Hi guys, so today I'm doing a review and demo on the John Frieda hair styler, and what this basically is, it is a hair dryer that has the bristle brush attached already to it, so it makes the job a lot easier instead of having like two things going on, like a brush and a hair dryer. So it just kind of has like a two-in-one kind of thing, and I think this is the most amazing thing ever. I can't believe I didn't buy this sooner actually. It just makes everything so much easier, and like you get a really nice blowout, and it makes it your hair really soft without it being too much effort really. It does take about half an hour to do this, for me anyway. You could even take this with you when you travel because it is super lightweight, and you don't have to carry anything else. You just carry this with you, and you can just kind of blow dry your hair really easily. It kind of reduces all the frizz, and it makes your hair really soft and shiny, and it is really inexpensive. I got this one at Walmart for about $44, which isn't too bad, and I'm definitely going to be using this a lot. So now I'm just going to get on to the demo. So I just washed my hair this morning, and then I added some BioSilk Silk Therapy Serum in my hair right after I came out of the shower, before I combed it through, and I just let it air dry about 90% of the way. I usually like to do that just because I'm adding more heat into my hair using that hair dryer. So you are welcome to use a hair dryer if you wanted to. If you're in a rush, I usually just do that if I'm in a rush. But since I had the time, I just kind of let it air dry about 90% of the way. So it's a little bit damp still, but most of it is pretty dry. I find that that's the best way to use this product, just because I don't know, like I'm scared that if it's too wet, I'm gonna be like using it, and I feel like the water's just gonna go into it, and like water and electricity is just not a good mix. So I just kind of let my hair dry. The first thing you want to do is you want to add heat protectant, and I use the Tresemme Heat Tamer Spray. You can get this at any drugstore. It's like $3, so it's pretty affordable. So I like to focus on the bottom parts of my hair and the tips. And then I just like to comb it through, just because it is kind of still damp, so I don't really like to use a full like paddle brush or anything on it, just because a comb is a little bit gentler, it's not a word, a little more gentle than a brush would be. But I just use this wide tooth comb from Sally Beauty Supply that has like a super long tail. It was about like $2 or something. But you can use any kind of comb. And now you just want to go off and section off your hair. Sometimes I use a comb if I want to go more precise on my sectioning, and I also these two big clips. And I also find that scrunchies are way better when I have to section hair, just because it won't make as big of a dent, and also it's a lot easier to take on and off than an elastic is. Okay, so I'm just going to do my first section, and I'm just going to kind of get, I'll turn around, all like the bottom parts of my hair, kind of like over my ear. And then I'm just going to pull all this other hair. Make sure you pull it up really high, just because you don't want the top part of the section that you're tying up to kind of like flop over the section that you're trying to dry. So I'm just going to section that off, and I'm just going to wrap the scrunchie around it. And then on the last loop, I'm just going to put it halfway, and it'll kind of look a little silly, but that's okay. Then I'm going to grab the clips, and I'm just going to clip it down so that I don't have anything moving around. So I usually do one on the top piece, and then I'll kind of put one on the back piece. So I look a little ridiculous, but that's alright. Okay, so then you have kind of like the two back pieces. Okay, so before I actually turn this on, what I do is I grab a little small section about like this. So it's about 1 inch. And I usually get the blow dryer, and I will just put it on the root, and then that'll just kind of give it a little bit lift at the root, because you're drying it with all the hair strands going up, so that'll just kind of give you a little bit more volume. And then I'll just kind of move around like that, and I'll kind of do that a few times, and then I'll just kind of slightly twist the end of the hair around the barrel a few times, and then I'll kind of just do the end one more time. So you'll see what I'm doing when I'm actually doing it, and then I'll kind of explain part way. So it should look a little something like that. Let me just put this back so you can kind of see it on its own. See, a little bit like that. It just kind of has a little bit on the ends. I find that I sometimes do it inwards and sometimes I'll do it outwards just so that it has a little more volume and it doesn't just look all the same. But yeah, so after I'm done that section, I'll just grab another one. And I will do the same thing. You're going to grab the barrel and you're going to put it right at the root to give it a little bit more lift so that you have a little bit more volume. And then you're just going to kind of move it down the hair and then twist the little ends a little bit around the barrel so that it gives a little bit more texture on your ends. So that's just like with one side what it looks like. As you can see, it has a little bit more texture at the bottom and a little bit more lift on the side here. So now I'm just going to move on to the next side so you can kind of compare the two. This one has a little bit more volume. So I'm just going to push that to the back and then I'm just going to continue on with this side. So I find it more convenient when you start at the back, that way you can just constantly keep pushing the pieces that you've already worked on to the back, that way you don't get them mixed up or anything. So you're just going to do the exact same thing. So that's kind of what it looks like when the whole bottom section is done. I realized that I have a bit more hair on this side than this side, but it doesn't really matter, it doesn't have to be perfect. But now I'm just going to take another section down. So I went ahead and did one more section, so now I'm just down to my very last section, which is kind of like the top layer. So what I actually like to do is actually split that into two so that I'm a little bit more focused on each side. So I'll put all my hair back and I'll just kind of do side by side. So I'm just going to do my left side first and then I'll focus on my right side.
But there are roads left in both of our shoes. But if the silence takes you, then I hope it takes me too.
Seeing as I don't have a bang or anything, I just have this like piece that's a little bit shorter than all the other pieces from like when I grew out my bang. I just kind of dry it the same as I would everything else, but this would be like perfect for anybody who has like full bangs or anything. You can just kind of twist it around, or even side bangs. I think it would be really, really convenient. So this is what it looks like when it's all dry. I feel like it makes my hair feel so much softer and silkier and a lot less frizz, and also adds a lot of volume to the top of my head. Well, as much volume as I can add. But yeah, so after I'm done blow drying it, I'll add a little bit of product to my hair just to kind of prevent, like, to help with any damage that might have been caused. I like to use the Macadamia Healing Oil Spray, so I will just spray some onto my hand. Like 3 sprays usually, and then I'll just kind of rub them together, and then I'll just run my fingers through the ends of my hair. You got me in a spin, but everything is okay. So to remove hair from the bristles, I like to use this. It's like a little comb. I got it at Sally Beauty Supply. It's actually made to get rid of the hair that gets stuck in like a brush. So I'll just gently, very gently put it in the beginning of the bristles and just kind of pull. That'll just kind of get rid of everything that is in the bristles without it. Just be really, really gentle when pulling, because you don't want to like get the little like spikes inside the actual tool and like, I don't know, do something. But just really gently just kind of clean it. That way it's tangle free and easy to use for the next time you want to use it. So yeah, that is everything that I have for you guys. I hope you guys found this helpful, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!